Norfolk State, all the way.
They live for this day.
Let's go Spartan. That's what I'm talking about. Behold the green and gold.
This is their Friday.
Norfolk State, #1, baby.
At Norfolk State,
You can find probably anything you want to eat out here. Everybody's out here having a great time.
Behold the green and gold.
game day is tradition.
Tailgating is just the camaraderie of friends coming back from all over the country, coming back that we went to school with, and just enjoying ourselves.
We've been existing since October 1999. We come out and we support Norfolk State.
From spectator
I be out here early every day. I love it. I'm a Spartan all the way.
to alumni,
Greatest thing ever, just being able to come back and tailgate and just be with their families.
to even a former Spider.
I would like to put Norfolk State's band and that marching marching legion against anybody in the country because they know how to bring in a tailgate party.
From one of the most spirited fan bases in Hampton Roads,
We're going to win the MEX now. We're ready. It's the season just started today, and look for us to be all the way now. I think we got to get stuff together.
the message always, behold the green and gold. In Norfolk, Nathan Epstein for the Sports Wrap.
Everything been silent. I was just looking around lately and just trying to make sure everything. I've been looking out all day.
Words from a concerned parent who was keeping an eye out for clowns in his neighborhood.
I was kind of nervous and scared at the same time. I was just like, wow, this is really happening.
Timothy Lanier lives across from Hunter B. Andrews School in Hampton, one of the schools mentioned in an online threat made by a person posting as a clown. He has 2 young children who go to Andrews School.
I was just concerned about my kids' safety and everybody else's child safety. So.
Earlier today, Lanier got an email from the district telling him about the threats. He contacted the school to make sure his kids were safe. The school said they were taking the threats seriously.
We have the lives of 20,000 kids in our hands, and we're going to make sure we do everything we can to keep them safe.
The threats were made against schools in Newport News and in Hampton. Both districts and police departments issued statements and contacted parents, assuring them that they were investigating and that there would be an increased police presence at the schools.
Oftentimes when something is posted on social media, it very quickly grows into something that it's not. So we wanted to be as proactive as possible and get information out there to our parents to let them know what we knew.
Other districts, including Isle of Wight, Suffolk, and Virginia Beach, say they have had possible threats in their areas and they're monitoring the situations.
A family vacation captured in these photos. Fun at the oceanfront Memorial Day weekend. But those memories now marred by the possibility of what else may have been captured by a camera no one knew might be watching.
You never in a million years think something would happen like that, but it did.
Angie Wallace, her husband, and 2 children were staying here, the Knights Inn on 29th Street. These photos from the motel's website show what the rooms look like.
The second day we were there, my husband had called me into the bathroom and he had found a video camera hidden in our bathroom recording. Myself, my husband, my son, my youngest daughter.
Angie says the camera was above the toilet under the counter. She says she ripped it off, slammed it right down on the front desk, asking the manager for an answer.
Made no effort to do anything. I eventually ended up calling police myself.
She says detectives took the camera, fingerprinted her and her husband, who both handled it, but at least to her, detectives didn't appear to do much else.
Basically just gave us cards and said, we'll get back to you.
Now 4 months have passed and she still has no answers.
We don't even know if it was streamed on the internet. We don't know who's seen it. We don't know if anybody's seen it. It may be contained to the camera, anything. I worry about my kids, especially my little girl. It's aggravating.
That's why she called 10 on your side. First, I went to the motel. I am here from Channel 10. The manager said he's new, couldn't tell me if anyone's been held responsible. I also asked Virginia Beach police several times for an interview to address Angie's concerns. They declined. A spokeswoman wrote in an email, quote, "The forensic side of things is not as simple as just removing an SD card from a device, plugging it in, and looking at the contents." She told me, in fact, 4 months after they took the camera, detectives still can't even say if any photos were snapped. They still haven't seen the evidence.
That's what bugs me the most, because we don't know. We have no answers, nothing.
I asked again, can they explain why it's taking so long, even in general? What could they say to put Angie's mind at ease? They declined an interview again. A spokeswoman wrote in that same email they have a very limited number of technicians qualified to recover that data, and that any other crime that may have recorded evidence, like robberies or homicides, would take precedence. They said they were sorry if I didn't think that was enough, but, quote, we cannot jeopardize a potential criminal investigation for the sake of your story. Tell that to the mother worried about her family's privacy violated while on vacation.
To me, with a young child being involved, I think it's pretty important.
I suddenly am in doubt. I don't know if I've actually learned what I need to learn, so I need to know.
Gunnar Carson of Western Branch wants to get on with his life after his education was interrupted by the closing of ITT Tech. He hopes he can transfer as many credits as possible to his new school, TCC.
Every student's transcript is being individually evaluated by our deans and our faculty to award credit.
The Navy vet has already used about half of his GI Bill.
It makes me mad. It's, you know, that's something that I earned in the military.
Both Granby High School graduate Matthew Simpson and his father Ernest were left scrambling when ITT closed. Matthew is looking for loan forgiveness, but that means he will forfeit the credits he earned at ITT.
Unfortunately, I will not be able to use those credits and be able to stay out of debt.
We'll explain how loan forgiveness works and whether it's for you. Chris Horn, 10 on your side.
Change. It's what a group of people in Newport News want.
For too long in American society, communities have completely handed over an expectation of addressing community problems to their local police.
Police Chief Richard Meyer says today's crime summit started a year ago. The summit, a joint effort between police and concerned residents.
Many of the problems outlined today are not police problems. They're not against the law. They don't involve crimes. They require a grassroots community approach to improve.
Chief Meyer says the 6 groups focus on issues. That includes reducing homelessness, strengthening families, and creating success for youth. They also use the event to bounce ideas off each other and give other citizens a chance to become a part of the movement.
And that's what this whole program is about, to empower the community to join us as partners in addressing root causes.
In Newport News, Kara Dixon, 10 on your side.
From Nags Head up to Kitty Hawk, county and town officials all tell me they're ready, they're prepared for the storm. But part of that preparation, they tell me, is also knowing that a lot of the prep work is actually for damage control. You wouldn't know it at Jeanette's Pier in Nags Head, but a storm is coming. Here, it's still tourist season. Dare County officials say locals and tourists together need to get ready for Hurricane Matthew.
They need to get their supplies together. They need to think about what they're going to do, what their plan is, and they need to know where they're going to go should an evacuation be ordered.
North of Nags Head in Kitty Hawk, you'll find Hurricane Mo's Restaurant. It's an appropriate name for a restaurant that sees the brunt of storms. Like, just ask Jane Lesh, who's worked here for several years. What's the worst storm? She and other workers will bring up Sandy in 2012.
We ended up eventually flooding all the way up to the windows, and we're closed for 3.5 months.
Their preparation this time,
well, we'll have to just wait and see what happens this weekend. So we're keeping our fingers crossed.
Her feelings echoed by Kitty Hawk's mayor, Gary Perry. When it comes to preparing, he said the town has done all it can. Since the last tropical storm, the state has rebuilt the dunes that protect Route 12.
Now it's just a matter of waiting to see what kind of damage we might get and how we have to respond to it with the equipment we've already set up.
Perry says either way, if Hurricane Matthew comes, he expects overwash.
Any kind of surge will wash over, we'll have flooding between the highways, and we'll have to pump and do whatever damage control is there.
Towns on the Outer Banks gearing up for Hurricane Matthew, hoping history doesn't repeat. Dare County emergency management officials tell me that online they have a list of things that can go into a hurricane kit and other ways for you to prepare online. And we have a list of that on our website, WAVY.com. In Kitty Hawk, Matt Gregory, 10 on your side.
Outside the Slover Library in Norfolk, protesters stand united against light rail.
So this is a dream, but it's not realistic.
Inside, supporters of the Tide and its extension into Virginia Beach talk about a vision for connecting Hampton roads.
It's more walkable, bikeable, hop on the light rail, jump in an Uber.
In November, beach voters will vote yes or no to extending the Tide 3 miles from its last stop on Newtown Road in Norfolk to Town Center. Virginia Beach City Treasurer John Atkinson led the effort to get that question on the ballot. He says the price tag, over $200 million, is wasteful spending.
The study that HRT printed said that only 1,100 people would ride it daily. Absolutely nothing in the way of congestion, elimination of pollution, or transporting people.
Not the case, says Will Christopher, president of the Hampton Roads Public Transportation Alliance.
Downtown and Town Center, think about how much business we do back and forth.
Christopher believes the tracks could spawn new business and housing.
And the benefit of light rail is that it's long term. It's a signal to private investors, private enterprise, business, that, hey, we're making an investment in this community.
So far, the beach has spent $16.3 million, most of it to buy the former Norfolk Southern right-of-way. The question now, should the city move forward?
If we're really serious, we need to be talking about a connected, unified region.
If no one's going to ride it and it's that expensive, don't do it. So vote no.
It's certainly been a busy day here at the pier as all of the supplies got loaded up onto the aircraft carrier, and a lot of these pilots and sailors just got the call yesterday that they had to get on board. By later tonight, they'll be well out to sea. Pallet by pallet, thousands of supplies are loaded onto the USS George Washington.
Food, water, medical supplies, really just whatever is needed in a disaster situation, we're bringing that on board.
From cots to hard hats, even thousands of cans of insect repellent. The crew is readying to help.
Yeah, we have a full service hospital on board. We've got a surgeon, we've got petty officers who are specialists in medicine, we've got we can turn actually the hangar bay into a triage unit.
The GW originally going to sea for a 3-week training, but now the mission could become very real.
It's all worth it. It's all good. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. The crew knows, my division knows that's why we serve.
Once out to sea, the ships will be joined by helicopters that could fly supplies to places like Haiti. So far, 2 other ships, the USS Mesa Verde and the USNS Comfort, a hospital ship, are also heading that way. So why an aircraft carrier?
An aircraft carrier has an incredible capacity for making fresh water, and in a disaster situation, that's vital.
The ship can turn salt water into 400,000 gallons of fresh water every day. While anchoring this massive ship off a foreign coast may sometimes be a show of force, this time the message is quite different.
In a situation like that, is parked 12 miles off the shore, it sends a message that America cares and America is here to help.
The crew doesn't know how long they'll be gone. They've been told it could be as long as 8 weeks, and they still don't quite know where they'll go. That's all in the hands of Mother Nature.
The arena would be built right here. Saving the arena deal. How do you do it? It began this morning with a phone call.
Obviously, I'm disappointed.
The first order of the day from Mayor Will Sessoms: get on the hook to longtime council member Lewis Jones, once an arena supporter, now a defector.
I do feel that if I could get more equity from the developer, that perhaps we could revive this project.
Sessoms believes lack of developer equity in the deal, $20 million, is not enough. But Sessoms also points out the city has zero exposure.
The only dollar that a citizen of Virginia Beach would pay for this project would be if they bought a ticket, bought food and beverage in the facility when they were attending the event, or staying in a hotel at the oceanfront.
Councilman Jones and John Moss refused to return phone calls. Councilwoman Barbara Henley always opposed the project. A supermajority of 9 votes needed because city land is to be leased. With the Jones and Moss defections, the number for the deal, only 8. Developer Andrea Kilmer.
That project could spur redevelopment of the entire oceanfront, and it's just, it is a travesty for the city.
That is Sessoms' point to arena, wintertime events, maybe a hockey team. Some people, like this speaker, just don't care about that.
It's just an endless laundry list that we dump in the oceanfront to try to hide the reality that it's cold here in the wintertime.
Andrea Kilmer says maybe she needs to take her arena project to another city like Chesapeake or Norfolk.
There was excitement that was being generated, and I want to get that excitement back.
Sessoms appears stuck in the middle, but will reach out to Kilmer, who is out of town, to see if the deal can be adjusted. So Mayor Sessoms thinks more equity from the developer and good luck with interest rates will both be part of the equation that could save the arena deal. In Virginia Beach, Andy Fox, 10 on your side.
These are the faces of the men and women shot and killed over a violent 18 days last December. Tonight, these are the men facing charges in their deaths. Anthony Foy, Nathaniel Mitchell, Antonio Simmons, and Alvon Davis. 33 charges in all, including murder and attempted murder, racketeering, assault, and drug charges. Federal authorities say they are members of the 9 Trey gangsters affiliated with the United Blood Nation. The indictment says a conflict between 2 local sets of the gang is what fueled the crime spree. December 10th, Al Tariq Tynes died, but wasn't found until weeks later in a ditch near Grand Isle Drive and Rotunda Avenue in Portsmouth. December 15th, Vandalay Mercer shot in the torso, later died in Portsmouth after a shooting near Deep Creek Boulevard and Graham Street. December 20th, Linda Lassiter and Wayne Davis, a couple, killed in their car on Lauren Crescent in Portsmouth. December 21st, Jamisha Roberts found lying dead on Robin Hood Road in Norfolk. 6 days later, the shooting stopped when officers arrested Foy and Mitchell following an armed robbery at the Shell gas station on Portsmouth Boulevard. The indictment alleges Foy and Mitchell committed 10 shootings together last December. Simmons, the gang leader, allegedly participated in the planning of at least 3 shootings. Davis is accused of acting as a driver in multiple shootings and disposing of a body.
It took 4 hours and 30 no light rail to Virginia Beach volunteers to build this sand sculpture.
I am so sorry you wouldn't believe it. We had to lug the water all the way up. It's 300 feet. It's just water and sand, and I'm tired.
Reed Greenmum designed it and helped construct it Saturday at the Neptune Festival's amateur sand sculpting competition.
So at 11 o'clock, I get a call that someone had come down and ruined it. So a bunch of us got up at the crack of dawn this morning and we came down and fixed our sign. It's not as pretty as it was yesterday, but at least we still have our message.
The 3D design now gone, replaced by simple lettering and questions about why it was messed with.
I've been involved in sandcastles for 18 years. I've never heard of that, and besides, what's wrong with free speech?
Unfortunately, last night, someone took it upon themselves to remove the no light rail piece from the sculpture.
Becky Bump works for the Neptune Festival. She says a staff member removed the no light rail message to avoid the appearance of bias.
The festival is a very apolitical organization. We're a community celebration, and so it's always been our policy not to be political.
Bump says since there are no rules in the competition regarding political statements, they allow the organization to come back and recreate what was destroyed. But the group says despite the damage that was done to the sand sculpture, it actually helped them engage with more visitors.
They attempted to squelch the message, which has kind of backfired on them. The picture that we put up on Facebook yesterday has just had astronomical numbers of people liking it and sharing it and giving positive comments and feedback to us.
In Virginia Beach, Kara Dixon, 10 on your side.
The night Officer Michael Eddington Jr. shot and killed 35-year-old David Latham, he was wearing a body camera, but it wasn't department issued. That's according to testimony Thursday from the lead investigator on the shooting, who says Eddington purchased it himself. But he says it only showed the moments after the shooting, not the incident itself. It's not clear why. For the first time, the jury heard Eddington's account in his own words of the June 2014 shooting in the Park Place neighborhood. It was from a recorded interview at the Police Operations Center. Eddington said Latham became increasingly agitated and was moving a knife around by his side and rocking back and forth. Eddington told investigators after Latham refused multiple commands to drop the knife, he fired 4 to 5 shots outside the home and 1 more inside before Latham collapsed. Later, he said a woman in the home began arguing with him and said, quote, "Y'all didn't have to shoot him."
Hi, I'm Jay Sennett, jazz musician, music educator, and radio broadcaster. Drumming, it's been with me literally just about all my life. Till I was big enough and strong enough to hold sticks and have some sort of control over them. You know? I played in the high school bands, the high school music ensembles and marching band in the Pittsburgh area, which is where I grew up. Then when I was graduating high school, I decided to go into the military, into the Navy. And that's how I ended up in Virginia. I was stationed down here. I woke up one day in my bunk in the barracks and decided, my friends tell me I was great playing in the high school band, so maybe I should audition for one of these military bands. And it was the experience of my life it was the experience that changed my life, because I completely butchered the audition. I mean, so badly to a point where I got kicked out of the office and I was in tears, literally in tears. But what it taught me was that I didn't know what I thought I knew, and that music was a serious process. It was no joke. And so I had to just rethink some things. So I rest of my time in the military, I didn't play music. And I was discharged early because of a motorcycle accident. So I was back out into the world as a young adult, and the only thing I could kind of do professionally at the time was play drums. Back in the 70s, every hotel had a lounge where bands could play, because of disco. You know, there were clubs on every corner. So I got in the band. That's how I, really started playing cover tunes and top 40. And it wasn't until probably the late 70s that I got tired of that scene, and that's when I decided to use my GI Bill to go to college and just approach music seriously. My experience at a historically black university, Norfolk State, was incredible for me at the time, because it offered what I was looking for in terms of music education, specifically jazz education, because at that time Norfolk State had incredible jazz musicians as professors. And the reason why that was significant for me, because I learned to write grants, and I was funded for project grants. I was the first one funded for a project grant through the city of Norfolk to get a grant to record jazz. I did my first record, Obsession, through a grant that was helped tremendously by Dr. Georgia Ryder. I played all of them. I played the bigger venues like Chrysler Hall, played Scope, played the Coliseum. But I prefer smaller venues, smaller intimate venues like 100, 200, 300 seaters, because the connection to the audience, you don't feel so far away from the audience. So I like that closeness. You get older and then benefits become more of a concern, retirement, that sort of thing, health benefits. So I said, I need to get a real job. I ended up with WHRO, Public Radio, as their jazz host and producer in 1990. And the fortunate thing for me is that it kept me around the music I love. It worked out great, and I'm now in my 26th year hosting the shows on WHRV FM. My name is Jay Sennett, and I am Hampton Road.